Some places feel different at night. During the day, they seem normal, busy, full of noise and people. But after dark, they change. The building in this story was quite like that. It was an old office building in a small town. 3 floors, long hallways, fluorescent lights that buzzed softly overhead. During the day, it was full of workers. Phones ringing, people talking, computers humming. But at night, it was empty. Almost completely empty, except for one person. The night security guard. His name was Mark. Mark worked the same shift every night, 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. His job was simple. Walk through the building, check the doors, make sure everything was locked. Most nights were boring. Very boring. Mark would walk the halls, check the stairwells, then sit at the front desk and drink coffee. Nothing ever happened. Until one Thursday night, around 1 a.m., Mark was making his usual round. First floor, everything looked normal. Lights off, doors locked. It was quiet. Then he heard something. A faint sound coming from upstairs. It sounded like a chair moving across the floor. Mark stopped walking. The building should have been empty. No workers stayed that late. He waited. The sound stopped. The hallway went quiet again. Mark shrugged. Maybe the building was just settling. Old buildings make strange noises sometimes. Still, he decided to check it out. He walked to the stairwell. The metal door creaked when he pushed it open. The stairwell was dim. Only one small light was on. He walked up to the second floor. The hallway stretched out in front of him, long and silent. Rows of office doors on both sides. Mark stepped into the hallway. His footsteps echoed softly. He walked slowly past the first few offices. Everything looked normal. Then he saw something strange. At the far end of the hallway, one of the office lights was on. Mark frowned. He was sure he turned off every light earlier. He walked down the hallway. Step. 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 The buzzing of the light grew louder. When he reached the office door, he looked inside. The room was empty. Just a desk, a chair, and a computer. But the chair was moving, slowly rocking back and forth, like someone had just stood up. Mark stepped into the room. The chair stopped moving. The air felt cold, colder than the rest of the building. Mark rubbed his arms. Hello? He called out. No answer. He walked over to the desk. The computer screen was on. Bright blue. But there was no program open, just a blank screen. Mark stared at it. Then, suddenly, letters appeared. One by one, slowly typing across the screen. Mark felt his stomach tighten. No one was touching the keyboard, but the letters kept appearing. H, E, L, P. The words sat there on the screen. Help. Mark stepped back. His heart started beating faster. He looked around the room, still empty, still silent. Then, the computer typed again. More letters. S, T, A, Y. The screen now read, "Help, stay." Mark didn't understand. Stay? Why would he stay? Then the lights in the hallway flickered. Once, twice. The buzzing sound grew louder. Mark hurried out of the office. The hallway lights blinked again. The building felt different now. Heavier. Like the air was pressing down on him. He walked back towards the stairwell. Then he heard footsteps behind him. Soft and slow. Someone was following him. Mark turned around quickly. The hallway was empty, but the footsteps stopped. Mark stood there for a moment, then he turned back toward the stairs. The stairwell door was closed now. He was sure that he left it open. Mark grabbed the handle and he pulled, but the door did not move. It was locked. But that wasn't possible. The security doors didn't lock from this side. So Mark tried again. Still locked. Then he heard the footsteps again. Closer now. Step, step, step. Mark turned slowly. At the far end of the hallway, something was standing there. A figure, tall and still. Mark couldn't see its face. The lights flickered again. For a split second, the hallway went dark. Then the lights came back on, but the figure was gone. The hallway was empty once again. Mark didn't wait. He ran back to the office, the one with the computer. The chair was moving again, slowly rocking, and the screen was still on. And a new message had appeared. 3 words. They read, "Don't go yet." Mark stared at the screen, his heart pounding. Then something strange happened. The air in the room got warmer. The heavy feeling in the building lifted. The computer screen flickered. Then another message appeared. "Thank you." And just like that, the light stopped flickering. The building went quiet again. The chair stopped moving. Mark waited, but nothing else happened. Morning came slowly. At 6 a.m., the day workers arrived. Mark told the building manager everything. The lights, the computer, the footsteps, and the figure. The manager listened quietly. Then, he said something strange. "Second floor?" he asked. Mark nodded. The manager sighed. "There used to be another guard," he said. "Years ago. He worked the same shift as you." "What happened to him?" Mark asked. The manager paused. Then he answered slowly. "Heart attack. Right in that office." Mark felt a chill run down his spine. "The one with the computer?" The manager nodded slowly. "They found him sitting in that chair," said the manager. Mark stared at the floor. Then he asked one last question. "What was he doing?" The manager looked down the hallway, toward the second floor stairs. Then he said something Mark would never forget. He called for help, but no one heard him. Mark never worked another night shift after that. But the cleaning crew still says something strange happens in that office sometimes. Late at night, when the building is completely quiet, the computer turns on, and for a few seconds, one word appears on the screen. help.